Greetings, fellow brothers. I've recently promised to show you my take on the fencing sword build, so here it is. A fencer bro is weak against armored enemies like orc warriors and barbarian chosen, but they are great against humans, monsters, light armored enemies, and most importantly, goblins. What stats do we level up for this build? First of all, initiative, the black sheep of the stats family. The whole idea is built around this attribute, which has synergy with lunge, dodge, and gives the fencer an ability to go first in battle. Second come melee attack and melee defense, which gives the fencer the survivability and consistency of damage. Third is HP, which you want to have as much as possible, but simply lack the stats for it. And fourth is fatigue, which acts as a double-edged sword, because having fatigue is great for lunge and berserk, but bad for lunge damage and dodge melee defense, as accumulated fatigue reduces initiative directly. Let's quickly go over the reasoning for every single perk on this chart. Optional. Student allows you to level up faster and reach full potential sooner. Recover clears the accumulated fatigue and returns initiative to its highest numbers. Dodge activates additional ranged and melee defense, which is great for nimble characters. Relentless directly reduces fatigue's negative effect on initiative by 50%, which makes lunge and dodge effective even when the fencer is out of breath. Sword Mastery reduces fatigue accumulation from lunge significantly. Underdog, a must-have for all melee characters, increases melee defense against groups of enemies. Nimble makes the fencer highly durable, reducing the received health damage by 60%. Berserk, a must-have for a fencer, allows to achieve full potential of lunge. It should be considered core for this build because it allows, for example, to kill 3 goblins in a row, which is the strongest niche for a fencer. Duelist grants an additional 25% ignores armor stat to lunge, improving its lethality. Killing Frenzy does the same through improving damage by 25% after a kill. And finally, Gifted allows to get more attributes for this stats type build. Now, there are variations to this build, like Overwhelm to use initiative and reduce enemy hit chance, Backstabber for the fencer's hit chance. Since fencers cannot deal with high amounts of armor, it's alright for them to engage with the enemy later, when most of the armor is gone. Some would suggest Quick Hands and Bags and Belts to carry anti-armor weapons, but there's not enough perks for that. You'd have to give up Sword Mastery and Gifted for little benefit. Trust your other 11 or 15 brothers to do the camp opening. Next, Colossus is a great perk to increase survivability. It's almost as good as Gifted, but it does not give initiative and melee attack stats, which a fencer uses to fulfill their niche. I did not find footwork to be any good, as you can simply position your brother to constantly lunge between the enemies and deal maximum damage. If a fencer needs to get out, he can either walk away, thanks to high melee defense, or get help through knockbacks and rotations. Same for Pathfinder. Lunge nullifies the need for Pathfinder completely, because once you reach the enemies, you ignore terrain, even when you're in the swamp or the mountains. Shield Expert isn't a bad idea if you're lacking a nimble tank, but I'd rather build a dedicated nimble tank, as a fencer doesn't get to have 130 HP by level 11 like a nimble tank would. For perks that you can actually drop from this build, it's hard to find one. Some would say Gifted isn't mandatory, but I personally consider it core. Sword Mastery reduces lunge scores by 6, which can sometimes save 12 to 18 fatigue per turn. Underdog I find to be mandatory for melee characters. Killing Frenzy is okay to drop, but once the brother is out of breath, his lunge damage lowers, and Killing Frenzy helps to mitigate that. Now, why use a fencer? It's clear that the fencer isn't optimal. Well, it's extremely fun to cut through goblins like a hot knife cuts through butter. As I said, a fencer bro is weak against armored enemies, but I have no problems with goblins. They make them scatter and flee, and if you give your fencer a goblin necklace, he'll be unstoppable thanks to nimble, range defense from dodge, and high damage and mobility offered by lunge. Try this build and have fun. This video was made possible by Will and Lajo's Tweaks and Fixes mod, specifically the debug mode, which allows to level up your brothers and do other useful testing stuff. Check it out. Don't forget to thumbs up and sub if you liked the video. Cheers, Brotherhood, until the next time.